If you have ulcerative colitis and you've been told you're in remission, but your gut still doesn't feel normal, there may be something happening that standard inflammation markers aren't telling you. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to show you why researchers believe your nervous system and your immune system may be working together to keep inflammation going, even during remission. By the end of this video, you'll understand why remission doesn't always mean your gut has returned to normal, and why one overlooked immune cell may be sitting right at the center of that conversation. I'm Rachel and I help adults living with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis restore their digestion, regain their energy, and rebuild trust in their bodies again. That work is deeply personal because I had to overcome my own mast cell activation and chronic gut inflammation. It completely changed the way I think about digestive health. Now I'm passionate about translating the latest IBD research into plain English, so you can better understand what's happening inside your body instead of feeling overwhelmed by confusing medical jargon. Every video I share gives you one practical insight that helps you understand your condition on a deeper level. One of the biggest misconceptions about ulcerative colitis is that remission means everything inside the gut has gone back to normal, but researchers have been finding evidence that the biology can remain altered even when symptoms improve and inflammation is much lower. And that's important because it helps explain why some people still experience urgency, discomfort, food sensitivities, or simply don't feel like their digestive system is fully recovered. Most people judge their progress by one thing: am I flaring or am I in remission? It's almost like an on-off switch. Either the disease is active or everything must be fine. Because your gut isn't just an immune organ, it's also one of the most heavily connected parts of your nervous system. Your nerves are constantly talking to your immune cells, and your immune cells are constantly talking back. Researchers are beginning to realize that that conversation may continue long after a flare has settled. So your gut has its own communication network. Let's talk about this. Your bowel isn't simply a tube that digests food. It's packed with nerves that constantly communicate with your immune system. One of the chemicals these nerves releases is called substance P. Think of substance P as a messenger. It helps nerve cells communicate, but it can also influence inflammation. And mast cells are listening. So researchers looked at bowel tissue from people with ulcerative colitis who were actually in remission, and what surprised them was that they found significantly more mast cells than in healthy bowel tissue. Even more interesting, some of those mast cells contain both tryptase and substance P. That suggests these immune cells and nearby nerves aren't acting independently, they're interacting with each other, almost like they're having an ongoing conversation. So why does this matter? The researchers also found more serotonin-producing cells and more nerve fibers containing both serotonin and substance P throughout the bowel wall. Taken together, it suggests that even during remission, the communication between nerves and immune cells may remain altered. Now, that doesn't prove these changes are causing symptoms, but it does suggest remission may be biologically far more complex than simply saying the inflammation is gone, because it changes how we think about ulcerative colitis. Instead of viewing it as simply an overactive immune system, we can start seeing it as an ongoing conversation between the immune system, the nervous system, and the cells lining the gut. When those conversations become dysregulated, it may help explain why some people continue to struggle despite being told they're doing well clinically. This is one of the reasons I find mast cells so fascinating. When I experienced mast cell activation myself, I realized that symptoms don't usually happen in isolation. They're often the result of multiple biological systems influencing one another. The immune system, the nervous system, the gut barrier, the microbiome. That's why everything I teach starts with understanding the biology first, because when you understand what's happening beneath the surface, you stop feeling like your body is working against you. Instead, you begin to understand the conversations that may have become dysregulated, and that gives you a much better foundation for supporting your health. One of my favorite things about research like this is that it reminds us just how sophisticated the human body really is. Ulcerative colitis isn't simply about inflammation, it's about communication between nerves, immune cells, the gut lining, and the microbiome. Every year we're uncovering more of these conversations, and I genuinely believe the better we understand them, the better equipped we'll be to support long-term gut health.